This week's video blog is about the Transit Challenge that happened last week. But before we go into this week's theme, I want to thank you for your help as part of the winter storm that we had this week. Thank you for not pushing your snow on the sidewalk and city streets. And thank you for helping your neighbors. We greatly appreciate it. As for the Transit Week Challenge, I'm happy to say I was successful. There's more than 17 colleagues out of 23 that participated in 1 week challenge of leaving the car at home and using only transit to get around from meetings to meetings. I changed my calendar a bit, my schedule. I worked during the core peak period so that I took the bus during those very busy periods to see what it was like in the morning and in the afternoon. As you know, a counselor's schedule can be longer days, so it means I use the bus at different times. I've been using the bus since I was in grade 3 on a daily basis. Obviously these last few years has been a bit different, but I regularly use the bus. I know the challenges. Here's a couple of the highlights that I've seen over the last few days. Monday morning when I jumped on the bus, it was an articulate bus. I jumped on the second doors and I tried to pay with my Presto card. I tried to scan it and the Presto scanner was out of order. What does that mean? Well, OC Transpo often talks about ridership drops. Obviously it's important also to collect the fare. So when those systems don't work, we all collectively pay, we don't capture the number and we don't get the revenue. Another element that was frustrating was, and we hear about it especially in the morning peak period, and that's the 12 going towards Rideau Centre. I was on the 12. By the time we got to the Wabano Centre, that's corner of Bradley and Montreal Road, we were leaving people at the bus stop because we were at capacity. So all along Montreal Road, all along Rideau Street, gap in capacity, and that's a serious issue. If we want folks to use transit, we need to make it reliable, we need to have that capacity so that people can get to work on time. Transit Week was a good challenge. I'm happy to see so many of us participated. As you know, the primary focus for OC Transpo at this current time, beyond the day-to-day operations, is the opening of light rail train. Once the light rail train is open, we have to turn our minds to some of the chronic issues that we're seeing, obviously working closely to see improvements in different parts of the neighborhood. I've tried to use all of the routes in the last week. Main focus and main issues we hear most about is the 12 along Rideau Street, creating an alternative along this main corridor of Montreal Road and Rideau Street, and also increasing capacity during the morning peak period especially is what we hear the most about. It's important for us to think of the future. A small reflection as I wrap up today's video blog. What's important for OC Transpo in the future, obviously light rail will be the primary focus, the backbone of our transit system. Phase 2 will really reach the broader community. Urban transit can be a lifestyle and it needs to transform to be a lifestyle so that you can not have a car and so that you can just jump on the bus at any time of day, on weekends and so on. For our suburban communities, yes, the peak period might be the focus Monday to Friday. At peak periods, we need to offer a good transit system. So having both options for the future can be a very, very good step forward. Let's work towards that option.